So I got my earpiece in. Yeah, that's how I just started this video. So about a month ago, I ended up getting really sick. The train conductors, not all of them, uh, they were leaving the doors open on the train, like I said in the summertime, that they were gonna do, and it was freezing me out. So you get into Penn, and then it's really warm inside Penn, so you're sweating your balls off now when you bundled up. So in the end, I ended up getting a pneumonia. I ended up curled up on that bench uh, after throwing up on the train after eating a sandwich. I thought that's all that was wrong with me, is that I was hungry. I didn't realize that I was catching a pneumonia from the sweat. I felt warm. It didn't, because it's so cold at the time. It's January right now. This was December. I ended up curled up on the bench inside of the station at the very end. Thank God, because I ended up managing to call 911 and getting myself an ambulance. The guy had to help me to the ambulance. Um, the EMS worker. The the thing is, I get to the hospital and I'm there for I don't know how long, but I think it was like about a little less than an hour. Um, they were busy 40 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't know. I don't really know. Like the only thing that I was off about was the time that I was going in and out of somewhat consciousness, very tired. And the thing is that when they ran my temperature was 107.8 degrees. The nurse and me both looked at each other like that can't be right. I did not feel that high of a temperature, but the nurse and me, we look at each other. I'm like, take it again, and she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, like I'm like, yeah, you know. She takes my temperature again. Again, it reads 107.8 degrees. At this point, little do I realize I am practically dying. Okay, I was shivering to no end, and as they wheeled me back out into the hallway for a brief amount of time, from what I thought it was a brief amount of time, I'm going to say that an acquaintance of mine came over and he starts speaking. Now, this definitely happened. There's no doubt in my mind that I was aware that my friend's voice, I could hear him, but I couldn't even move. My body was so freaking stiff and in pain. Every joint in my body, at that point, I was so, I just, I just wanted to sleep. And my acquaintance friend, that's known me for about a year, he said that he'd keep an eye on me. Well, shortly after this, from my understanding of time and what took place, a doctor from the psych ward came down to speak with me. He asked me my name, my birthday, how did I get to the hospital. Oh, well, let's see, what else did he ask me? Um, if I paint my fucking toenails. I'm sitting there like, oh, and let's not forget, like, can I talk to you? And when I turned around and said, can we do this another time? He just continued to keep on speaking. So I decided to keep on speaking at that point because I was dying. So the bottom line is that I hope, and I really mean this, I hope my acquaintance friend, and I'm not even going to mention the name of my friend, I hope he doesn't hold it too high against me, because the things that came out of my mouth When the doctors introduced themselves by name, because they just kept speaking at that point, even though I said I did not want to speak to them, I should be suing these people as we speak. And if I had money, because, make sure they only have $2 in their pocket so they can't even talk up against us or get to a meeting of anything to explain, because I don't do drugs. At this point, you know what? As much as I want to do drugs, I don't do drugs. You know why? Because of situations like I'm explaining right now. And I really want to smoke pot, which is legal, but I won't. So after answering all this doctor's questions, and I'm talking 100% fine with 107.8 degree fever, I was dying. After that, and the doctor kept speaking, I decided that I was going to show the doctor how intelligently freaking fucked up it really gets. So when I say showed, I mean speak. So I started to speak. And the words that flew out of my mouth was all the truth, to the fact that I was skipping around because I just was skipping around. That's normally what I do. So, it's really impressive to myself that I was able to do this. But basically, I told the doctor that he was a fucking cunt, and that he was an asshole, and that I hope he fucking died. And I feel really bad, per se, to my friend, and only my friend. Actually, at this point, I don't really care, about the other fucking people that were there speaking to me why I had this insanely... I was on my deathbed, pretty much. So, I told the doctor, some things I probably should have just fucking kept to myself at that point, but I couldn't. Because, it's hard for me to bite my tongue, I'm not a cat. What? Fuck, I'm sorry. So I want, you know what? In the end, what I should have said to the doctor, and I said a whole lot of shit to the doctor, but what I should have said to the doctor is, you do realize that I have 107, well, I did say this actually. I said, you do realize I have 107.8 degree fever and that I am fucking dying, you idiot. Do you mind? And let me die in fucking peace. That's what I said to the doctor. What I should have said to the doctor is, I have 107.8 degree fever, you fucking idiot. So if I get, and I did fly up, but I didn't fly out of the bed. Because I was actually thinking about it at the time. I was like, you know what? I'll get away with it. Because I'm fucking delusional. 107.8 degree fever. Clinically, I was insane. So basically, if I would have flew out that hospital bed and started to wring that good doctor's neck that cared so much about my health, I wouldn't be going to jail for murder. No, honestly, that's a bad joke. But, I wonder how the court would have looked at that. No, honestly. I'm sorry to my friend, and only my friend, because I felt like I embarrassed him. While I was dying, I was embarrassing my friend. This is how I think. This is me. All the time. Every day. Never ends. I really hate myself because I can't be as fucking evil as a fucking evil person is, This world is so fucked up. They didn't give a shit. They took pictures of my feet. That's what they did. They took pictures of my feet. Oh, and by the way, I made sure one thing at least they did, because I figured, they can spare the $40 blood test. I said, one, I want you to take my blood and test it for any type of drugs, because there was no drugs, but that I did personally. But just in case, and they probably already had done that, but they also told me they didn't do that, so I told them to do that. I don't know if they did, but what they did do is run an STD test on me. So yet again, and I got the results for my other STD test from 5 years ago, and in the meantime, the point being is that I don't have no STDs. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? At least I can die with a clean dick. You know what I mean? Oh, what I said to that doctor was so fucking I should have said the other thing though. Honestly, that would have been a better punchline, you know? If they ever make a movie inside of the fact that, you know, like I'll be probably long gone after all of that, and that's just from natural born old age. Anyway, the thing is, and they just gave me an address. They tried finding me a placement, right? Why? Oh, so anyway. Oh, I'm skipping ahead of the story. Back to the story is that after about 10 days, 12 days, finally the fever broke. About 5 days in, I was running like 105s, 103s for like 3, 4, 5 days. You know, time kind of like didn't matter at that point, and personally, I don't think I even ate for like 2 or 3 days out of that, honestly, you know, because I was just sleeping in the bed, like dying, but not dying because I was getting better. Went from 107.8 degrees down to only 105.3 degrees for like 3 days straight, 4 days straight. I don't know, a week, who the fuck knows? But I do know at least 3 days. At least. The good doctor, man. You know, it wasn't even like when the doctor went to, it was just the one name. The minute he mentioned that the other doctor standing next to him had a certain name, that's what honestly just pulled that mental trigger in my head to just say, fuck you, I hate you, I don't care who you are, I just care the fact that I know what your family did. And I guess that makes me a really horrible fucking person to speak my mind in this day and age. I didn't get out of the freaking hospital bed. I was about to rip out the fucking IV that they had, I'm pretty sure, in my arm. Did I have an IV? You know what? That's the one detail I don't know about. Because I was literally blacking out just slightly. But I was very cognizant when I was basically telling the doctor to go fucking in the other room and he should do the world a favor. Himself. So nobody gets freaking screwed over. That's my name, Anthony Yaki. I am a fucking walking disaster. But you know what? I'm my disaster. I don't know what else to say, man. You know? Moments from death, I actually ended up saving myself and going against my normal, wouldn't call the doctor from the hospital. You know, I called an ambulance. I am so proud of myself only for the fact that I saved my own life. I saved my own fucking life. Wow, that's fucking great. Even when they were trying to freaking, they were like, oh no, you need this. I was like, get me a blanket. Trust me, I'll be all right. Just give me the blanket. Yo, they were like, don't give him the blanket. Don't give him the blanket. He's running such a high fever. You can't. I'm like, give me the fucking blanket, bro. I mean, at least 170-degree fever broke. And I slept like a charm, man. I mean, I did. I slept like a freaking charm. That's the best way. Your body in sleep, it overcomes things when you sleep. So, because all your thoughts that you're trying to make your body do, like move your arms or your legs, your brain is doing that naturally because of the vessel that you are in. God is amazing. Much credit. And friends, I didn't, to that one friend, I didn't mean if I embarrassed you in any way, I'm very sorry. Because that was just me dying. And maybe that's not an excuse. I don't know. But it was only words, and it was the truth. It just was the truth at 107.8. I am on fire. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean on fire right now. I'm fine right now. I got a little sniffle, and I'm just trying to make sure that, you know, the spiteful fucking train conductors that know exactly what the fuck it is that they're doing by leaving the train doors open in the wintertime, but closing them in the summertime so that you fucking swelter on the fucking train in the summer and fucking freeze to death and get a fucking pneumonia during the winter. I just want to say, Much respect. Much respect. Touche. Touche. Nobody's going to say nothing to you because spitefulness is not a crime. Although in certain cases it should be, because it can lead to death. And I can't prove it, like, without lots and lots and lots of cameras. Oh, that's right, there's so many cameras. You could pretty much get down to the bottom of it if you really wanted to. Create some jobs. Maybe I should run for, like, mayor or, like, governor. Or, like, I don't know, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. We already know that. So yeah, I really did like, dude, the last thing that came out of my mouth was, now that we're done here, I don't care what you do with me, but can I please die in peace? I couldn't get over that one last, and then my head just went poof, down onto the pillow, and I'm like, goodbye, or some shit. I don't know if I said goodbye, but I did say, can you please, now that you've done being a fucking anal prick asshole, I don't know if I used those 3 words in the actual sentence of basically telling him an anal prick asshole, or anally prick your own asshole, or head up ass syndrome, or fucking whatever the fuck you are that has somehow fucking managed to get a degree in fucking killing people and getting away with it. Yeah, no, I stick to everything I said. You should have walked into the other room and just done the world a favor, but not with me. I said, can you please let me die in peace? Thank you. I think I did say thank you. All right, so that's that, and yeah, I'm gonna get the hell. I'm going to freaking. I gotta get some money up, legally, and I gotta get a lawyer from this point on, because this is getting fucking ridiculous. That I can't do this no more. I am too horrible of a fucking person to not share my horribleness with people like the Good Doctor. I'm going to title this video, To the Good Doctor, but I'm only sorry to my acquaintance, my acquaintance, because I told them when I first met them, my life is not okay, but I'm okay. Maybe I'm not okay. The last thing I would like to say in this video is that a person passed away 5 days after I went to the hospital. And me and that person, I was talking to a friend that I was trying to reconcile from my side of things. Something that went on for way too long, and I didn't get the opportunity to do that. And it was definitely their fault, but I don't even know if that's being the bigger or lesser man by saying that, but it never happened. And that was only like a week before I got sick, and then it was only 5 days later that they passed away. That is, I don't know. I really, really, really don't know what to say about that. It was like a week before I got sick and almost died myself that I was trying to reconcile from years of something that was so very foolish that I can say it was probably not all their fault, if any of it was their fault. And the argument, and to think that after I almost died in the hospital, this old friend, but at that point enemy, literally enemy, still at that point an enemy in my mind, a possible not enemy if we could have gotten a chance to talk, passes away 5 days after I'm in the hospital. Just as my fever was basically breaking down to like 99 degrees, which was way better than 107.8, this person passed away, I find out from the minute I can make my first phone call. So that is just something else out of there's too many people that have passed away over the past couple of years, and I'm not going to go into all that, but because I've went into it 1,000 times. But I just wanted to make this video to say that, you know, I'm trying, at this point, I am going to do what I have to do to get a lawyer, and maybe I'll go to church. I don't know. I don't want to talk to people in church. They don't like what I have to say, but it's not them that I'm going there for anyway. So maybe I can learn to stay quiet and just shut the fuck up like I used to do, and not lay the fucking literal smackdown on fucking life, you know? Because this is bullshit. And every single thing that's went on for the past couple of years that I've documented is fucking even more bullshit. And just not, you know, it actually happened. So that's about it. And you know, if I don't know, man, you know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say right there. That's all I wanted to say.